Pacho ready sir enti yenya intented na yentimi emma kwabena ene ekoko yentimi ebrem kwabena ene eye na for posiga with that so facha me na omutimi brem. Okay, enti this is it. Enti Ghana 2021 Human Rights Report, the executive summary, pages of the report. Offer report to be all the pages of no a 900-page document and 1 year aba. But they give you the executive summary in snapshot. Now what's a very good impression of the report. So let's go through it a little bit with the executive summary. Now you're breaking it down. As Ghana is a constitutional democracy with a strong presidency and unicameral 275 seats of parliament. Presidential and parliamentary elections conducted in December 2020 were generally peaceful, although there were isolated incidents of violence during the voting and vote count, resulting in as many as 8 deaths. And Timpacho, very important, resulting in as many as 8 deaths. Whether or not they've captured, say 2020, abattoir in December, no, at the end of it, generally, observers say abattoir no echo ye, but they've cited, say, Nipa Enwoche and Etimi Estre Womunkwa. 8 deaths, some by security forces, a very important point to as well note. See, Nkofo ewu ye no, ebi wo a womu wo ne bae as a result of the security forces ni bi eye. Domestic and international observers assessed elections to be transparent. Domestic and international observers assessed the elections in its entirety to be very transparent and then inclusive as well as credible for that matter. And so in overall no report here episode say one more domestic observers including Kodeo media for any interested parties. One more observe the 2020 elections. At the end of the elections, you declared by the Electoral Commission. They all came to a conclusion. Say one about one year it was all inclusive. Political parties to participate in the general election, and as well, it was very credible. A election now, you bet me papa, even though there were certain isolated incidents, but you bet me about one instance and so say about one year 2 year in 2020 no na a year into no as I said so. The Ghana Police Service under the Ministry of Interior is responsible for maintaining law and order. However, the military, which report to the Ministry of Defense, continue to participate in law enforcement activities in a supportive role, such as by protecting critical infrastructure and by enforcing measures to combat the COVID-19. And one more say categorically, say the Ministry of Interior, any Ghana Police Service, the protect it, okay? Nipankwa and our face so at certain point in time, the Ministry of Defense and the Ghana Armed Forces, the military, and so to provide support to be able to ensure say sanya mana ye no ye betimi ahwe say ye bebo ban na etimi aboaye. Now the military equally came in because of the COVID-19 measures. Said ye be strictly no measures are yet to akwemu ansa na ye kwa abato no so no ye betimi e de aye adwuma. The National Intelligence Bureau handles cases considered critical to state national security and answers directly to the Ministry of National Security. Civilian authorities generally maintain effective control over security forces. There were credible reports that members of the security forces committed some abuses. Okay, and I presume, sir, they are quoting from a lot of reportage from the Ghanaian media. There were several reports, say military 4-2-2, police 4-2-2, any idea. The U.S. human rights practices reports no capture no significant human rights issues included credible reports of arbitrary or unlawful killings by the government. And we do not know their basis for saying that or its agents. Cases of cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment or punishment by the government or on behalf of the government, harsh and then life-threatening prison conditions, arbitrary arrest or detention, serious violence against journalists. And see, one more aspect in this particular aspect. And see, Ubehu say underlying word, for what they are saying in all these phrases, we do not have the rationale here. One more making that assertion. Against journalists and unjustified arrest and prosecution of journalists. Okay, substantial interference with freedom of assembly, serious government corruption, lack of investigation of and accountability for gender-based violence, including but not limited to domestic or intimate partner violence, crimes involving violence or threat of violence, threatening persons with disabilities, crimes involving violence or threats of violence targeting lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgender, queer, intersex, any de kika ho nyina. Enti one more can say except of the report there are issues of human right violation. Human right violation no e be a domestic violence. Oba ni bema wo mo awari omo titi fie wo mo a ebo omo yere mo ene ade. Then you come to the aspect of nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ ɛkwan a yɛfa so kyekye nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ bi ɛwɔ kurom during the 2020 election and then even after the 2020 election without justification or reasoning behind all those things. Oba BMA, they go forward to state when him say ahead of the 2020 elections, lesbians, any gays, no. A serious topic for discussion. Even last year, a major topical issue because of the private member bill. Not some members of parliament and so a sponsor in a chamber to ensure say gay no you bet me I have a final resort and answers to it. And one more chemo say a bano. One human right, one more gays, any lesbians, one human right, or minor, near my debris, edit as uncle for one more writer, one more as humans. Now, young the other side, not young share one or two, nothing fancy, or Chenaya bar, we will continue with the other ones. Young judiciary and then the corruption aspect. Yabeba media freedom, I think largely, Suleiman Abraham has spoken about it, but young the judiciary. Na yeni judiciary eno ho enkomo enti basically the medi kan ye de ma o no the general overview afei no mo be my section of a year the report enti makatro media freedom the enti a wo ekase media no edru ba bi aban ye niema bi to prevent them or to gag them from speaking and afei wo ba the justice delivery system wo mo state categorically say our justices and our judges, some of them are involved in corruptible practices. And Oba also denial of fair public trial. While the Constitution and law provide for an independent judiciary, the judiciary was subject to unlawful influence and corruption. Okay? And the unlawful influence on the judiciary, the question is that if we hear an eba, why more an a judiciary eso ma woman so one year juma, woman few or more pemo, and year jumano, but rather they use external influences. Now corruption. A serious matter. You name there anas a year concerning number 12. Now you free say corruption after that particular investigative piece, free judiciary anymore. Now the United States Department of State, said there is still some level of corruption in the judiciary. Judicial officials reportedly accepted bribes. The judicial officials reportedly accepted bribes, and in America report to America the amount to expedite or postpone cases. And report say young judiciary bribe. Now one bribe we are according to report either say one will speedy up the processes. Now a fair judgment judgment definitely it goes in favor of nipa wakwa to your bribe ebi so ho no ma because of bribe nipa na tua nti say asem no ankwa amana then judiciary will keep postponing most of the cases to an extent we dey asem court to cry ebia na wabemu ebu either say sadia ni besi announce say we lose case ni cry because we enya sika entua bibia. On the other hand, the report is also saying say records or issue favorable rulings for the payer of the bribe Enti eno na ba church mu acho no. Ida say ye be ka cho say wa wo de wasem ba ya ye hwemu anka wo di bem no ebia wo record so kra ne wa dance di a wo de ba ya no ye hwehwe ye prosecutors be ka cho say o docket no ira ye it is all part of the judicial processes after say sa bribe no nipa no akwakotu a wo nso etimi age. This is according to the report. A judicial complainants unit within the Ministry of Justice headed by a retired Supreme Court justice addressed complainants from the public, such as unfair treatment by a court or judge, unlawful arrest or detention, missing trial docket, and as well delayed trials and rendering of judgment, and bribery of judges. The government generally respected court orders. And the official training in during the judicial process, okay, saa niema we nyina no esisi se bribe bi tua bi ekoba ba bia ida se be ka cho se wo docket no ira ananso se ebia ye be ma unlawful detention asem kra na nka ebia court no betimi grant you bail no o se yen grant you bail yen fa nko remand ebia 2 weeks ana 1 month cobra ne hwehwe docket no ansa na prosecution no kra no efrase the delayers in the judicial processes, okay? Ni nyina no report no so asite missing trial docket. Eno de eyade a esipa. Se wo de wasem akọ court, ye hwe ba bi asem ne kọ na e bia nipa na wo ni nanya no owo sika se o beba no ye se wo docket a ye di asem no kra no. The report has quoted that in black and white ana eno ewo ahase. Now we are in summary of this. I say generally say aban anase timamuni bi de aban kọ court. Na yedi asem ni wie na asem no anko in favor of abaya generally aban ejitum edemra no ede eye adwuma enti for instance issues bebra attorney general ede akọ court no de watimi awi ni no ekoma aban eye aban ne de se aban lawyer pen de asem ni court na wo mu di asem ni wie na asem no anko into the favor of government. Generally government accept the orders of the court. The court no be sha aban say wonye no aya aban no ediso enti eno no so is a plus to government, and these are details of it. Yenko say other one wo ha yenko na menka eno na yemfa eno no ense. So these are essence but wo tie live on aye radio no so a obetimi akọ aye Facebook Kessben FM 92.9 and then Kessben TV. Now yemra global info analytics one report on the buy they said something about the judiciary. Now, question global info analytics. Or say, what is your level of confidence in the judiciary? Okay. Now, as a January, it was very high. Okay, and for level of confidence in the judiciary as a January, it was very high. And Yama Bebra, SCC Yoni Ninano, one more free so more confidence, was 24%. As a January to April. Now, one more movie so the judiciary one more year and tem jinafo one more said that and for Mohonia man you say mu into Mubibi or Muyebi and one more from Mupim Anna Ayeno, where 30% of Ghanaians saying they believe in the neutrality of the judiciary. Now, people who have low confidence in our judiciary, 46%. So it tells you clearly, say Ghana for do no, according to Global Info Analytics, poll one more a year from January, April. Nina no actual clearly said the confidence by majority of Ghanaians wamoni omo kasa ye no wamujidie ewo yen judicial system muno ewo form. Then it tells you that a lot will have to be done because between one more a judiciary need any one more woman need judie bebre ewo judiciary ni muno it is 46% as against 24%. And to strike difference now about 22 percentage points. Believe they do not have the trust and the belief in the judiciary. And that is it. And we compare. Basically, you can say, sir, a little bit of what the United States department what they compare the global info analytics then it comes back to the same situation. The perception is that one more believe sir and Crawford Jitu judiciary no edru baby a keta asese ne proyenti ama atentene ne ho nsem no edru baby a ewo form, and that is how come we are recording low confidence, the highest of its figures in terms of our judiciary. And that is it. Now we have dealt with it. Now, corruption, just a quick one. But more highlighted corruption, now, it is only 2 minutes after 9. This is Kessben. But join your live on Facebook. Na yene any komono na ma wo messages no embra. Ma embra kwabena so na